Alright, good morning everyone. Today's Friday, July 18th, and so we're made it to the last day of the week, everybody. And been pretty excited to see how the week has been panning out. So we have here, you know, Monday low of the week profile. We opened, made that lower, made that high, retraced back down, and liquidity. I mentioned yesterday that I was still feeling a little on the bearish sentiment because there has been no cracking correlation lately as I've been making the sell program. But yesterday's reaction, that failure swing, kind of gave us a little bit of an SMT, and that made me feel confident that we were going to start heading down soon. But yeah, it behaved in a way where, like, NQ did not react accordingly compared to US 100. So, hang on. And I think I left the stream saying that we were going to be reaching for that lunch buy side liquidity, and that ended up manifesting, so that's pretty cool. And it kept up going, running up higher. Started at 9 a.m. rally. Hit you. Yeah. So it had reached the lunch buy side liquidity, but the lunch didn't hit on US 100. Well, anyways, I'm still not feeling confident about this rally up, going up higher to make higher highs. I don't think it's ready. I don't think it's poised to go up any higher. I think it's eventually going to head down lower to reach the sell side to accumulate more longs to go up, to kind of sponsor the move to go up higher. Validated all PM. Let's take a measuring of the TGIF. So we have the low of the week and the high of the week. So we could anticipate reaching in for the lunch sell side liquidity from yesterday. Yeah, I think that's as far as we can go. If it's not gonna make any, if it's not gonna go any higher than that, I'm interested in how I reacted off these highs. Very smooth. So went up higher. 7. So everything's burning sync so far. What's the next one? London lunch. So we got that big wick. I'll be very interested in seeing how price would react once it reaches up to that level. Once it reaches up to that level, hopefully we can get us some tea and probably use that to get into, not all the way up to these lows, but to right here, these lows, because they're closely aligned to that 80% retracement. Let me get that. I think I missed one too. Yep. And these are the dealing ranges, low to high. Just waiting. Just gonna wait to see for a reaction to take place. In the meantime, I'm gonna continue with my measurements. So don't mind if I do. We got 9 o'clock hitting right now, so we'll take the 7 a.m. This looks very consolidated. Let's see. Mm. So we still inside candle. Inside candle sometimes means that it will continue the trend that it's been following lately, and lately it's been following this little buy side. It's been aiming to go up higher, up to these highs. I'm wondering if nope, nope. It says here it's Asia's, right? But Asian session lows, so something could have happened here. It looks okay. Yeah, so I would have liked to see this high to this low. Yeah, get filled. So from 10 o'clock. And it did was 9 o'clock opened. Oops, let me get that down. Next we have a low high, higher low, lower high. So it's a move that we anticipated to get filled after 9 o'clock hits. There's 9 o'clock. Okay, say that once 9 o'clock opened, immediately fill that with speed. So that's what we want to see, aiming for the buy side lunch. Excuse me. Okay, so we got 8 to 8:30, 8:39. What do you see here, composition wise? I see from this high to this low, balanced. So you could even argue that we're seeing a small little dealing range here. Oops. Quadrant. Just a little one. And then the same thing here too has been applied. What did we see here was okay, and then lastly we have the 915 macro. Okay. See that? Low to high. Higher low, higher high. Okay, so we have an even smaller dealing range. Okay, you could have just if the buy side, buy side delivery is in play right here. Let's see it. Now we got taught to go for that 5 handle, but I'm not. I'm not there at my proficiency just yet. Let's do 15. How much of a reward will we look for if we reach up here? So that's not much. I'm trying to go for the 3 Rs. 1.84 doesn't seem as fruitful. That's a trade idea now. Dealing range low. Or we could take up to this dealing range low too. But something that's also sus about this is that there hasn't quite been a good SMT to go for higher prices. Like I've been looking at this 8 a.m., 12 a.m., and it's been taking out liquidity back and forth. The only one that's left is just this lunch sell site. Okay, I'm gonna need you to get your things together. There you go. Like I don't see any lower low that price could refer back to because it's been taking everything. Yeah, it's been taking everything thus far. Yeah, London has too. Shoot. Okay. Now, so some people, when they see this, they don't anticipate getting in on a buy. Yeah, no, I don't see anything here. Look at that. $30. Let's see how the lows reacted off here. Low is at 2309.4. Let's take a look at where we closed in this candle. 23097.1. So that's lower, but that's also just 3.3 ticks. Wow. And then 23097 flat. We'll see if this is all we needed to take out so that we can continue going to the London lunch. and seeing if that will give us a SMT divergence so that we can consider taking a short down to lunge sell side, which will match with our TGIF projection. And again, it can also come back down to this low as well. This is also a daily range. If we go back to our futures and take a look at our projections, this is the opening range gap for the electronic trading hours. What are we seeing here? Where are the bodies supporting this? Okay, wicks are doing all the damage, but where are the bodies? Around here now, acting as support. So that's why I still think we're under this buy side delivery narrative heading up to London lunch as well. It just kind of adds a little bit more proof. Now we're seeing this take place, and we're predicting that we're predicting that it's going to use that daily range low for sell side to accumulate more long so that it can go up higher to London lunch. Now, if you were in on this trade, how long would you have been holding? So you would have been holding up to 9:30. 9:30. If it exits external range liquidity before it, set it to break even. 9:30. If it's still roaming around, but not hitting your entry price again, set it to break even. Okay? Those are my rules. It's kind of interesting how they're stacked together. These daily ranges. This is really good, sensitive. I'll see how that reacted off the. See here, low. Okay. Look at the wicks. Damage done, but the bodies are low, high. This too, low, lower, low. But look at the bodies. Isn't this behaving like a breaker? Interesting. Let's see what happens if we do something like this. Let's do 5 handles. I aim for that same buy side liquidity pool. See what happens. Because what made that SMT? The wicks? The wicks reacted the same. But the bodies, one made a low, lower low. This one made a low, lower high. So that's SMT. You have the buy side delivery. Bodies were supporting higher time frame on that electronic trading hours gap. And there hasn't been any good SMT lows on sessions that we could be reacting to. So the bias is still trying to get up to the lunch highs. Look at what happened. Dipped down into turtle soup, right? We had that SMT reaction. We're anchoring ourselves up to the body's SMT. We saw it break over 25%. Trace back down to quarter, right? Set your stop up to 6 handles, just a little bit below, right? Turn it like that, and see if it can take London lunge by side liquidity. That would have been a crazy scalp. If this thing manifests. And again, how long are you holding towards? You're holding this trade until 9:30, which is will be in 4 minutes. So this will be a 4-minute trade to get a 3.3 RR. These are the kinds of scalps that I'm looking for. This kind of things, if this works out. Okay, is it heading towards up there like a magnet? I mean, it looks like it, right? But these are the exact same trade ideas that used to make me blow up my account because I would want to get into everything, right? So anything that makes sense and matches up, I want to just go and take it. Okay, see how will this make you feel so far? You would have still had your open stop loss because we haven't met the time yet. 9:30. See now, how will that make you feel? Okay, would it be? And our profit target is met. So you would have had 2 entries here, turtle soup, right? And then reaccumulation here based on the 25% using candles. I'm sorry, yeah, using candle bodies as SMT. So that's interesting, you know? And look at how high it's going. And to go higher. Even London highs now. But we were only aiming for that lunch, buy side liquidity. London lunch and seeing if we can get some SMT, which frankly I think we might be. Look at this. The abs are glitching out. This is crazy. It only waked up a little. Maybe a lot. Still, this is the kind of stuff I mean. Technical problems, man. Sometimes you're gonna have charts that are just gonna start glitching out when they see this kind of stuff too. Imagine getting a fill. Alright, so this is very interesting for reaction. Bodies, low to high. Bodies here again. Equal highs. Interesting. But wicks, you include wicks, low to high is it's cohesive. It's working together. So you would have been out of this trade already with a 6-handle stop loss. Saying to think, no? Less than 10. And I'm glad I caught that on live stream. So yeah, I can see the turtle soups and how they're aligning with my balanced range, excuse me, balanced range theory. Okay, so it's 9:30 now, and as soon as 9:30 hits, move your stop to break even. The moment 9:30 and 1 second begins, this candle begins to form, begins to create. So we don't want to be involved when this candle begins to create. We just want to count it's open. Next we go close, open, media. Done. This is interesting. And that's a very interesting look too. Right? So if we're referring to this high and we want to see lower prices, we should probably refer to its high, low, kind of like its buy and sell program. See how it got balanced now? And we're looking up. And what kind of S&T did we get again? Oh, hang on. No, 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 no. If we're still in this buy side program and we had S&T here, it's only going to retrace down lower to go up higher. Because the way it reacted here, low to high, low to high again. Excuse me, keep saying low to high, high, higher high, high, higher high. It's in sync. Okay. There's nothing indicating here that it will take a short. The only thing is taken here is a retracement. So we had a low to high. Excuse me, high, higher high. And then here we had equal highs in terms of bodies. So what would be our area of focus? I'd imagine it'd be like this, something like this. You know, like a type 1 dealing range. Okay? And if it's going to retrace, it should retrace down back down to discount. Saw that here. So I've seen this before, kind of formation form where because the high when he takes it, it reacted the same, and then there's still like a retracement that shows up. Let's see here. High, lower, high, high, lower, high. Hmm. Now, isn't this crazy? Do you want to risk live money in these conditions? Look at this. We're at all-time highs right now. It's happened after the fact. This is good. Oh, look at this. Low, right, high. You want to take the one that's a breaker. Okay. And see what it wants to do here. Close below. Okay. That would have been scary, no? Yep. So I didn't notice, but London lunch buy side liquidity was already tapped long time ago. But yes, so you had that low to high, or in this case, high to higher high, high to low high. Okay, and then we had that strong reaction up on London high. So look at this. Tap again, high, lower high, high, higher high. So if we're gonna see something like that occur, we should be anchoring ourselves from this low to this high. Okay, closed below 25%, retraced back up, 20 handle stop loss. Okay, and then see if we can aim lower down to CME open, and ideally I like to see sell down to London. Excuse me, lunch sell side liquidity. See if that will be the game plan. A couple of SMTs happened here, guys. I'm gonna be honest. This is kind of hard to read this morning. Now we have the 8:30 to 9:30. $23,093.7, 23.93 flat. So we have a low, lower low. So this is good. If this is a dealing range low to high, once it crosses the A leg, when it comes back up, 75% continue the selling. Low is 23.63, so 63.05.3. So equal lows here with this one made it low, lower low. Okay. And it's an interesting S&T as well. But there's no breaker here. I'm concerned about this low too, how the way it was taken. Equal lows here. It's still considered SMT, so that will be proven a challenge. It's retracing back up. This would have been a stop loss already. At 20 at the entry, just a little bit more, just in case for commissions. But if it comes back down here, you could take a partial. It's made a low. What's the stop to make that low a breaker, right? Just make a lower low and then go up higher. So when it comes back down to this low again, you want to take a profit. Just so you know, I still favor the sell side being taken because of this whole manipulation like that's been going on. You know, since we've made those lows way back on Wednesday, I believe. And look at all this sell side. I do favor the selling side of things right now. Just want to take a quick note on OT here. Look at this. Right at that sensitive level. It's 23, 129.4, and the high comes in at 23, 131.1. So two handles going up. That's interesting. And look at how much little bit of a retracement. Like, it doesn't spend that much time there, does it? Okay, now we're approaching CME lows from this morning again. Because again, I say again because US 500 has already done that before. See that low, equal lows, but for here, it's a low, higher low. So we had like a small SMT. That's why I was a little bit concerned about this rally move up. I'm like, oh no. But then, in the grand scheme of things, right? Like I was telling you that I was dissatisfied seeing price going up higher, despite seeing signs that it shouldn't be because everything was working like well for the sell program. So we're just gonna wait and see if we're gonna reach down to lunch sell side liquidity. And this is my implied dealing range here on the right. We have premium side and sell side. So anything up above the 50, you want to find PD arrays that can help you support and sell. So that's what I'm looking at right now. And also to the TGIF, 80% projection matches right down here too. So that was also another probability why I wanted to go down there. Look at this fair value gap right here. This high, this low would have been it. What kind of reaction would we have had? Include the volume imbalance. What? How does that make sense? Closed above it, but then immediately went down. I'm sorry, I just never seen something like this where it's it's a sell candle, then it opens up higher, but immediately it's another bearish candle. It's just funny, you know. Something's going on too because it's been gapping. Second time it gaps like that. If you remember when we were describing the entry here for total suit, it made like a small gap up here, and now it's just this crazy gap again. But look at ES. Interesting. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a really hard condition to trade in right now. I'm still favoring the sell side. Look at it. Even though this is balanced, let me get that cube out. Notice the medium threshold. Did we get up there even? No, we didn't. Okay, now we're making that lower low. See that? And then we got 15. Where's the 15 at? 45, 30. There we go. I'm curious how this would be reactive if it was OT here. Look at that. OT retracement, 705 level. So I'm liking this. I'm liking this projection. Look at that. This will be a symmetrical market. Once it heads down here, I'm cancel the stream. That just gives me more confirmation that we're gonna be running down to sell side here on lunch. I'm not. There were so many trades, so many microscopes, and I didn't take any. Just watched it happen. But because they were such microscopes, they were difficult. Can you imagine seeing it and then going to your computer and being like, okay, I'm gonna set up the order, and then the move's already gone without you, and you're still inputting the stop loss and how much you're willing to risk, how many lots, how many contracts. Best trades I see myself getting into is this one, because of that SMT high. Right, made that breaker low. Once we closed out 25%, sell that 25%. Yeah, it went up back to 75 and then went back up to even equilibrium, but still going down there. This was our slingshot from this low to this high. Set up an alarm. Sorry. So sorry about that. So we saw this already get traded too, London High, so we'll mark that as yellow as it has already been used. We'll mark down CME open as it's already been used. And now all that's left right now is that lunch sell side. That other trade was awesome too. The one we saw here, manifesting. It was the turtle soup on the 15, remember? Because they reacted off the body's SMT, but not the. That's good. This reminds me of yesterday, where we saw the same reaction to form. We had a bias, we had buy side delivery, a buy program, and no, yesterday was a little bit more complicated because I was looking for a reason to go short, but it didn't give me a good SMT on the long-term highs. So when it was coming back down and it gave us that short term, that was going to be the SMT low to use for a buy to aim for um, the next buy side liquidity that could be used for SMTs to create lower lows. So because that was the mindset that we were trying to get up there to see we're going to make another manipulation, the fact that we made another SMT yesterday shot up right. That was a good one. And he used the 60 U lows. This one was the same thing where we were trying to aim for London lunch buy side, um, and we had that SMT low form where it was a lower low on the bodies, but it was a higher low on the bodies. So we got attached to it, high to low, attach our fibs, and then watch it react. We had like six or 5 minutes to get in this trade, and then boom, up to external range liquidity above the London highs, London lunch buy side. So that was a really good trade. And then seeing the higher time frame SMT here, low to higher, I'm sorry, high to higher high, high to higher low, you take the one that's a breaker. That's your slingshot from here to this low to this high. And we're already looking for lower prices anyways, and for that TGIF to manifest as well. So close down below a quarter. It's good. It went even below that. Um, yeah, it went even close below equilibrium, but it still retraced back up to a quarter. Sell short. Had to handle this, but this had to happen because we had another CME liquidity right here. CME lows, low to higher low. I think here we had a low, equal lows. Yeah, we had like an equal low here for the. So we had like a minor SMT here as well. I only retraced up for premium prices. So I'm short. We had OTE here as well. So short more. Aiming for here. If this is our implied daily range from this high to this low, we want to see the market trade down to this sell side liquidity pool. It's not easy. This one was not. It hasn't been easy actually. The only good one was Wednesday. That one was good. No, it was Tuesday. That one was a good one. I could have. I understood it. Yesterday's was interesting too. I mean, I understood it, but I wasn't confident enough you see, this is what I mean. You could backtest all you want, and you think you have the confidence, but when it's the real time, you're seeing price print as it's happening, you start doubting yourself again, and that's something else that I'm continuing to wrestle with. I'm trying to come up with a way to overcome that. Because I've done the study, I've done a lot of hours, a lot of mental mental breakdowns, and I'm still going at it. I'm still trying to understand. Um, I'm still trying to learn as well. It's just a matter of making time. Gotta make time for this. If I had taken like a 2 day break, showing up to these markets right now, it would have been really, really hard for me to get back in sync. That's why weekends, like I know we have a weekend coming up, and this should be exciting, but I feel like, oh man, I should really be figuring this out. Like, I don't want to, lose my edge. And I guess it'll come over time. The more you start doing this over and over again, start reading prices, start seeing some things and things you have to retain. Because retaining it itself is a skill. You know, it's something that you kind of grow from. Think of it like a diver, right? How does a diver end up learning how to hold their breath for 30 minutes underwater? There are some divers that they just practice how to hold their breath for an extended period of time, and they have to go through some serious training. Well, think of that skill the same way as you would retaining information, right? You're not gonna be able to remember everything you saw in that one video tonight. You know, it's gonna take constant practice of you telling yourself, when it does this, do that. If this happens, do this. And what did he say about this? And that's you trying to retain information. And you kind of have to review, remember, and just keep practicing that. And over time, like months, maybe even years, you'll slowly start remembering. Oh yeah, they did mention about this, about when this happens, do this. Oh, now I know when to do this. Now I know when to set up how to set up my fibs. Where am I going to set up my fibs? And it's going to be constantly trying to reinforce and reiterate in your mind what it is that you've been learning. Kind of like how a diver, starts small, starts holding their breath for a small period of time, and then as they're exercising, they're practicing how to hold their breath longer. Today's a minute, you know. 3 months from now, it'll be like 3 minutes, you know. Another couple months, it'll be 5 minutes, and then they're learning how to hold their breaths, and then before you know it, you got people holding their breath for like half an hour. Let me fact check myself because it's not. Let me see here. Okay, I'm looking at this right now. Like Navy SEAL is perfect. Look at this. Okay, yeah, there you go. 2 to 3 minutes. Wow, I thought it was 30 minutes. Hang on. Some free divers can hold their breath for up to 6 minutes and dive to 25. 6 minutes is a lot of time underwater. What's this? Guinness World Record? Free diver who can hold breath for 24 minutes shares 3 crucial bits of advice. That's crazy. That's actually insane. And this is in the Guinness Book of Records. Okay, but they're exceptional, right? So let's say we take half of that, even just 12 minutes. It's insane, dude. How you can hold your breath for that long, you know? And you have to really work for it, Really, really work for it. All right, let's see here. 23046.2. We got 2346.7. So we're just off by 0.5 ticks. 0.5 ticks. I'm definitely gonna do some more research on this. But yeah, so retaining information, it's a skill in itself. Requires you working out continuously and being able to reinforce what it is that you've been learning. Now, see how recreational things, not going to mention them here, but notice if you do extra things that can affect your body, that's just going to throw you off the curve, man. I'm telling you, you don't need that stuff. Keep that stuff at bay. You know, don't even do those kinds of things. You get invited, see some friends, and they want you to overdo it. Don't accept that invitation, man. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things you gotta learn and retain from here. Why would you want to self-sabotage and get yourself into a mindset where you're killing your brain cells, man? Look it up. When you start drinking, you're gonna kill your brain cells. All right, so the alarm went out. It went to lunch sell side liquidity, which matches exactly to our TGIF projection. And we were looking at this. We were looking at this by the minute, and we were talking about ideas and trades that we could have gotten into. So I hope you enjoyed this one. And look at this. Let me show you the TGIF projection that I was telling you guys about. So if we zoom out here to the 30 minutes. Okay, make this big. You don't see it in futures just yet, but from this low to this high at the time, right? This would have been our TGIF. As soon as it had made that higher high, our TGIF, oh, look at that. 23, this is futures, 23 to 16.75. Look at the 20% retracement, 23 to 17.50. And with that, I'll leave you guys to it. All right, thank you so much for watching and have a great one.